Hey everyone, happy Friday. Is it freezing where you are? Everyone else is. You're watching Techstrong Gang. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh, maybe it's good afternoon where you are. I don't know. But happy Friday to you anyway. It's Alan Schimmel from Techstrong, and you're watching Techstrong Gang. We've got a great show lined up for you this Friday. We're going from mountains to the sea and to the desert, everywhere in between, to bring you the greatest. What was the old ABC Wide World of Sports? The agony of defeat and the thrill of victory. Let me introduce you to our Techstrong Gang lineup for today. First of all, it's his first show for the new year with the gang. Unfortunately, he's had some nautical issues, but he will persevere. He's our cybersecurity expert, great guy, Chris Blask. Hey, Chris, welcome.
Good to see you all. And nautical issues, for the record, are always good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least it's sunny.
That's right. At least it's sunny today.
Yes. Could be worse. But thanks for being on. I know you've been going through getting the stuff ready and taking time out to do this. Appreciate it. Actually, Chris, while I got you on too, I got word yesterday that your podcast is finally going to be on Techstrong TV.
That's right. Every Wednesday now, an episode of the Inevitability Curve podcast goes live. And the first episode with Heather McMahon, who's as fascinating as you get, is out there. So each week, we pick somebody, we talk to them about some interesting topic, and we try to look back where we've been, how we got to where we are right now, what today looks like. And with that, see what we can say about the future. So I'm really looking forward to doing more of that. We got some roundtables coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool. Glad to see it get done. All right. Moving from the sea to the mountains. Well, the mountains of Westchester County, anyway. They're more hills. Our chief content officer, who has a better internet connection today. So he's actually going to be able to participate, Mike Vizard. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Crossing fingers and toes, but yeah, we're here.
All right, good to have you back on. And then moving from the hills of Westchester to the valleys of Silicon, our resident royalty, John Swartz. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, on a serious note, though, I want to send some positive thoughts, vibes, and condolences to our friends in Southern California who are enduring these horrible wildfires. I've just exchanging some texts with a cousin in Studio City who's quite concerned and might be evacuating. So I just wanted to mention that it's really, really horrible out here.
Yeah, I don't know, 100-mile-an-hour winds is just spreading this thing around like gasoline.
Yeah. I don't mean to be a downer, but it's just
this is climate change, another aspect of climate change and sustainability and why we should care about green initiatives and so forth.
Absolutely.
So all in there. Our hearts and prayers, and I hate that it's such a cliche, thoughts and prayers go out to them, but no, I think, the government's doing what they can, but this is unfortunately an annual thing now as a result of climate change. And, we have our own issues here in South Florida as a result of climate change, as will, I guess, everyone. And we've got to adjust to a new normal. And that's going to create some heartache. Anyway, thank you, John, for bringing that up. And then, moving from Silicon Valley to the deserts of Las Vegas, we're a small town, stopover for GIs on their way back from out west, was made into the gambling mecca of the world. There's not even a statue. Just doing a little Godfather riff there. Our eye on the prize, lady on the street at CES, Lisa Martin. Hey, Lisa, how are you?
Hey, Alan, I'm great. CES has been just outstanding. There's so much to see. I can't even comprehend it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to hear all about it. That's actually our first block today. Why don't we go right to it, Lisa? There's more than we could shake a stick at, as they say. But give us your take, some of your big stories on CES 2025.
Yes. So I hit the show floor yesterday, got a lot of steps in, which I knew I would. And you have to plan your CES because, and their website is great at really looking at exhibitors and understanding where there are sessions, where there are exhibitors, getting shuttles to and from different locations, because it's all over the strip. Hundreds of thousands of people here. The excitement level, I think it's even more than last year. It is absolutely back from COVID. But some of the things that I discovered yesterday, age tech, I didn't know that was a thing. Digital health, I saw lots on digital health. We saw technologies that are helping to really scale the optometrists issue in terms of too many optometrists retiring, not enough in school. We saw some crazy fitness trends there and just some all around very cool textile computing technologies. I want to start with iBot. This is a company that John and Mike turned me on to the other day. This is what's helping scale the optometry kind of deficit, if you will, in terms of practitioners. It's like a kiosk, kind of like an ATM machine that does eye exams with all of 20 seconds. It does also, and this is all self-serve. Think of these at malls, at Costco, eye exam locations, Walmart, and they are in R&D for testing for like glaucoma, for example, retinal scans. They can detect issues, and if they do detect an issue with the health of your eye, they won't send the prescription to the provider. They will tell you to go see an eye doctor or an ophthalmologist. But a really cool way of solving this challenge there, I even put my glasses in. They have this little portable thing that can evaluate your current prescription and understand what it is and how they would modify that based on the current eye scan. So really cool optics technology there. They weren't doing any AI washing. This isn't an AI product, but it was very cool to understand how they're solving this this gap with optometry and really helping people to get prescriptions and kind of separate the eye exam or the need for ophthalmologists from prescriptions and making things just faster to the consumer. On the age tech side, John, do you remember that company called Skip with Joy that we uncovered, the AI pants, a few months ago? Remember that, John? Yes, I went to their session. They were in the age tech section that was actually sponsored by AARP. Very cool technologies sponsored by age tech and AARP yesterday at the show. They're doing it's moveware, and they've got this exoskeleton with this tiny motor and really efficient batteries that helps you really ascend up. Say if you're hiking or going upstairs, it reduces the load on joints by 40% when you're coming down. They're also doing work to not only make the product more efficient, more integrated into fabrics like textiles from Arc'teryx, which is their current partner, but they're doing work for Parkinson's patients. So they're going to be doing an exoskeleton pant with the motor in the hip to allow Parkinson's patients to have more stability and mobility. So it was just a great session there. I also found a company called Myant. MYANT. This is a company that is a textile computing company. And it starts literally with looking at fabrics and yarn and really presenting a new way of AI optimized health options from babies to elderly people. So they're looking at using textile wearables to help prevent SIDS, for example, all the way to detecting AFib. And basically what their platform does is it creates a digital replica of our bodies, which is allowing AI to continuously monitor and optimize health in real time. You can sign up your family through their app. It was just really cool because those are things that you just don't see every day.
Very cool. Very cool. I
Alan, I also found the BMW for you.
did. Okay.
This I did. I went specifically when I saw the BMW. I'm like, I got to go for Alan and myself selfishly too. So BMW and Amazon are partnering. This was in the Amazon wing. They had an X3, the current X3, and it's an Alexa powered BMW assistant. And what's really cool about it is it uses technology, it uses AI and LLMs to allow not just the driver, but other voices when they're programmed to be able to interact with the vehicle. To say, for example, we did a great demo yesterday where it said, where the demo organizer said, find the nearest gas station near me. And it found a number of gas stations near the Las Vegas Strip. And he changed his mind. So you can reason with it, change his mind and said, actually, find me the nearest gas station that has the cheapest gas and a car wash. So very cool to interact with it that way. It is actually in market now. And as the years go on, they will be offering it in more models. It's not a subscription. This is an included service from BMW, which I thought was fantastic. I also saw probably what might be a competing product from a company called Cardome. They're based in Tel Aviv, and their spatial awareness AI technology is actually taking what BMW and Alexa are doing a step further, where they've got a single solution that would integrate with, say, a car manufacturer. So you don't even know as the car driver because they're a B2C company. But what it does is it actually is able to detect all the different voices within an automobile, from giving it prompts to turn the car on, turn the volume up, roll the left passenger side window down, things like that. I got a great demo of it in an SUV full of people, and it was able to recognize each individual voice. And they are actually partnering this year with the largest auto manufacturer in Asia. Couldn't say who. I have a feeling I know who it is. So really cool voice recognition assistance there. And I did find the flying cart, Alan. I'm going today to check it out for you, but it doesn't look Jetsons like. I don't think it can fold up
That
into a
doesn't
briefcase.
fold up to a suitcase. It's a
No.
be good with that.
Yes.
Hey, I did discover a new oxymoron at CES that I think both Chris and Alan will have something to say about. They're tossing the term around boating intelligence. And apparently Brunswick is showing AI, and the AI will dock your boat for you. So I know you guys have both had issues with this in the past. So
Easy there, big fella.
So many things in that, right? So as you guys know, I've been building Alexa into these boats, right? I can control a lot of these, gadgets and devices and motors and pumps and so forth, just by saying the words. And it's interesting how to use that and how mature it isn't and has not been, right? But Lisa, like you're saying, what we're seeing at CES right now is examples of where we're going with this, because if some hacker like me can cobble together available parts and do this much, then a generation forward, a year or two forward, a step or two forward, that combines with, because it is convenient. It's beyond the hacker phase and the consumer phase, when you can literally just say, I don't want to take up all the time because we have enough topics to cover, but so much of the evolutions that have been coming along in the last couple decades are happening together right now. And CES and what we're seeing in the consumer side is such a strong indicator, I think, of a lot of the opportunities, challenges, where we're going in the next 5-10 years. And it's kind of amazing.
The one thing that's interesting to me is, and it's happening at CES, and it's happening with other types of examples of companies. They're finding, especially in healthcare, there are a lot of shortages, as Lisa alluded to, with the optometrists, hence the iBot for the exams. Same thing with the dental industry. So we're starting to see robots or AI systems that are either doing the work of humans or at least assisting them because of healthcare area concerns. And it kind of brings me to this weird, almost kind of what we see at this consumer show, in a sense, is I want to pay homage to Alan with the pop culture reference, if you can indulge me on this one. So remember the movie The Graduate? There's a scene in a hotel where a group of young people hurtle into the hotel, and then later you see the older people leaving the hotel, like this transformational process. In a sense, CES kind of, to me, gives me this long-term lens of humans going into a job and then the robots and essentially replacing them eventually, or at least assisting them. And it seems like we're in this long-term transition that Jensen Huang referenced in his keynote, like the physical AI and the idea of doing work with autonomous vehicles, warehouses, healthcare, etc. It's like this, we're on the on-ramp to this incredible kind of new world in several years, where the workforce is going to change significantly.
John, I have one word for you. AI.
Plastics.
No, plastics was then.
Oh,
AI
okay,
is
sorry.
now. But here's to
Yeah.
you, Mrs. Robinson. I agree, though. I think in many ways, Lisa, you said it, CES is back. right? It's bigger than and better than even before COVID, I bet. But it's also this is a year where we're seeing a lot of the technology that we've been talking about as tech people make its way into mainstream, and it's creating some really cool possibilities. Now, cool is cool, but it's not necessarily successful unless it's must have, not nice to have.
Hey, Lisa, did you see any of these robots that people are talking about all over the place?
I haven't yet. I think they're at the LV Convention Center, and that's where I'm headed today. As I've heard some great stories. I've been following some great folks on X who are looking at some of these really advanced techniques and products, and I want to be able to understand that. One of the things I also found, though, from a company called Withings in digital health, this is a direct-to-consumer product. They have really cool smartwatches that don't look like a typical smartwatch. They're very attractive. They've got blood pressure machines, other ways of doing like urinalysis, for example. And they have a prototype of a product called Omnia, where it's a giant screen. It reminded me of that fitness mirror that could be placed in health clubs, doctors' offices, that would be able to then do a full body scan, evaluate your cardiovascular health, for example. That's kind of the closest that I got, Mike, but I will be checking out some of those robots today.
All right. There's
I will
one
confess
that's
that I will confess that I've never owned a watch, and I don't plan to.
oh. Was there gonna like a $175,000 robot that CNET says is almost human? That sounded kind of eerie, and also this humanoid robot companion that you can fit into a suitcase. It's just like mind blowing type of stuff.
It'll be. I think that's at the convention center in one of the halls. So I'm going to be checking that out today.
The medical technology fascinates me the most. I mean, I've been thinking about this since I was a kid. You get this demographic bulge, the boomers, they get to this spot where they're all getting elderly 50 years from now, when technology moves along. How much that sci-fi stuff do we get? And it's, and Lisa's mentioned a whole bunch of them already. It's like, just imagine, we're right at that point right now where we can still accept the idea that maybe I've got some terrible disease and I get blood work every 6 months. And I'm going to wait 6 months. But right now, in a couple of years, and 5 years, and 10 years, that'll seem just ridiculous. Why am I not getting measurements every single day? Why do I not have a graph of my blood pressure 24 hours a day for the last 6 months? Why do I have to go in and once every 3, weeks? No, build it in.
And now you can.
Yeah. You absolutely can. Look, I have my Oura ring and my watch and all of these things. And I track my sleep. I track my daytime activities and stress levels and all kinds of things.
I think the company needs an Allen blood pressure metering graph that we can just keep track of in one.
I have it in my app. I mean, but and
we're a couple years into that now. So we're getting to the point where these technologies are off the shelf. So now the next wave is build it into your hat, right? Everything you wear gives you your bio, your health, not just special
real wearable
things.
technology that tracks our health. That's actually the interesting thing about iBots. Yeah, well, iBot actually, one of the reasons they did the company is because it takes so long to get appointments. Eye exam, physical exam, and I think now, I mean, it's like the immediacy of your health is so important. I mean, there's the documentary that we've heard about, the tech CEO who wants to live forever. I mean, he's spending $2 million a year on his health, but it's just like there's going to be things available to us that are going to be less expensive and more immediate and more convenient, and we'll be able to track our health almost on a daily basis.
Absolutely, and share it with your healthcare provider as well.
Yeah,
right.
That's another big thing about it. And quite frankly, look, I think the whole healthcare provider game is going to change because, like this optometrist kind of machine, well, it rather than fill your prescription, it's going to send it to a real life human to confirm it's fine.
Right.
It does.
That's an
Yes.
intermediate step because quite frankly, the machine will do it better with less mistakes than the human will at scale.
And faster. Yes.
And faster. So I think so. Lisa, thanks for that. Now you're on the hook to tell us about robots next week. So
you got it. Sign me up. And flying cars.
And
My two
flying
priorities
cars.
for today.
And flying cars. Rosie. All right. Let's take a break here on Techstrong Gang, and we'll come back and we'll talk about someone broke into the Cheesehead store. My God, how low can you go? You're watching Techstrong Gang.
Modernize your business to fuel innovation and elevate customer experiences. With the Builder Community Hub, AWS and its partner network provide essential tools for transforming applications and infrastructure to fully leverage the cloud. Discover free trials, in-depth demos, and essential resources to empower DevOps engineers and developers to deliver value faster and more reliably. Visit the Builder Community Hub to learn more.
All right, folks, we're back, and Green Bay Packer fans have had insult added to injury. First, they lost the last regular season game against the Bears, and now have to travel to Philadelphia in the cold to go play a playoff game this week. But then they also were informed that the online store for the Packers had been hacked, and that a lot of their details may have been stolen by these cyber criminals that, as far as I can tell, according to reports, went in and actually compromised the code on the website. So, Chris, I know we've been talking about DevSecOps forever and a day, but are we going to see a lot more of these types of attacks in 2025 where, it's the actual code that somebody used on a website is going to be compromised?
Is yes too short an answer for our purposes here today? I mean, yeah, right. And as I'm perhaps saying too much, but we're always going through phases, right? We're going through this phase right now where we've been able to get away with sloppy coding for, I don't know, forever. And that's been fine because the biggest fire was something else. And now we're at this point. And as I'm spending most of my time looking at supply chain. And it's not all just about supply chain. You can write your own bad code. But our lack of ability to see what we have and where it came from is untenable, right? We have to get to the point where we have a better idea of what we're running, right? And then we just say this over and over and over again in cybersecurity. It's like, up to this point, we've been fine. And everybody said we had to do the thing. It's like, well, what we've said is sooner or later you'll have to do the thing. Now you have to do this thing. So now, yes, knowing the code you have, knowing what shape it's in, this is not 1998 anymore, right? You actually have to pay attention.
So I got a few things. First of all, Mike, do not feel sorry for the Green Bay Packers having to go play in the cold with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's probably the Eagles who are at the disadvantage. The Packers are the cold weather team in the NFL, right? Secondly, though, the fact that they altered they actually hacked the code of the store itself, in addition to exposing the customers' names, screams to me as some sort of, not terrorist, but look, I'm pointing the finger at Chicago Bears fans. The only ones they didn't make the playoffs. They did get some revenge in that they won this last game, but the other three teams are playoff bound, and the Bears stunk this year. So there's your motive. They had the opportunity. They were playing Green Bay this weekend. So you've got motive and opportunity. I'm looking for alibis, right? Where they have no alibi, I'm going to point the finger at the Chicago Bears here.
Well, you have to ask the question. There are so many other teams, and they all have online stores, and they all probably have similar issues. So why are you picking on the Packers? So there has to be some correlation, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But I have a theory about this. So the Packers are one of the more well-known, I'm not sure if they're one of the more valuable NFL teams, but they're one of the more well-known teams that sells a lot of merchandise. And that brought me back to something that the CIO of the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, said a few months ago during an interview. He said something that was really interesting to me. He said that the true value in money-making enterprise for the team beside the obvious TV revenue is their merchandise sales. And that their IT department spend as much time and money on it as anything else. It's a treasure trove of data. And I actually think, in a sense, it would be a value-rich target. So, in a sense, the Packers, at first I thought, why the Packers? And then I started thinking about this guy, the Cowboys, and the merchandise, and especially among the more well-known teams.
Well, the Packers are the only publicly owned team. You could actually buy shares in the Packers, Green Bay.
So,
Um,
so Lisa, is this a marketer's worst nightmare to wake up one morning and you got the big game coming up and suddenly the website's down? And I got a feeling a lot of marketers are going to be dealing with this in the future.
It's absolutely a challenge that marketing and security have to partner to really understand how to message it. One thing that kind of caught my attention, I don't know if it did any of you guys, is that this breach happened in September, October through certain payment methods. So if you used like a gift card or Amazon Pay or I think PayPal, you were fine, but they disclosed it in December. And I thought, usually we hear about breaches and the disclosure is so much farther down the road. In fact, the San Francisco 49ers, John, were breached in 2022. 22,000 individuals had like personal like social security information taken. But marketing can really help here, Mike, to your point, from a messaging perspective to help those affected. This is about 8,500 Packers fans understand what was shared, how they can help, credit monitoring, protection services, and things like that, so that this doesn't just become routine. It is a messaging and marketing arena where they can really help to assuage some of the concerns that are currently obviously there.
All right. Well, all I have to say is thank God I'm a New York Giants fan because no one cares about us this year.
Yeah. Merchandise sales haven't been as great lately. Yeah.
Chris, were you going to say something?
I'm just going to add, because I've been the vendor in these sort of situations where there's some massive security thing. It's my product, my fault. I have very strong feelings about this. You own it large. Right? You're saying, Lisa, yeah, marketing is huge, but there's if you're going to sustain this, you're really going to build trust. You have to actually mean it because it's easy to sound good, but if you mean it, then it'll last, right? I'm trying to find a way to say this doesn't sound too Hallmark. But
You're absolutely right.
This was not your bad. Go over the top. Don't give say we will not only give you credit monitoring, we're going to send you shoes. I don't know, something. Just own it all the way.
Value.
Get furious about it, right?
Yep.
It whatever that costs you is nothing to compare to the reputational.
Sit on a ton of old Brett Favre jerseys. Get rid of them. Send everyone an old Brett Favre jersey. Number 4.
Free game ticket, whatever. Make a statement and mean it.
Yep. All right. Well, good luck to the cheeseheads out there, and good luck to all the playoff teams this weekend, especially my Pittsburgh Steelers, who are the largest underdogs in the playoffs this weekend. I think we're about 9.5-point underdogs, traveling to Baltimore to play our arch rival nemesis, the Ravens. But maybe we got something up our sleeve. We'll find out. I'll talk about it on Monday. Let's take a break here on Techstrong Gang, and we're going to move away from football and cheeseheads to AI. What else is new? You're watching Techstrong Gang. Hey everyone, it's Sunny.
And Cher.
Ladies and gentlemen, tech enthusiasts and future gazers, gather round. The biggest, boldest, most mind-blowing predictions for 2025 are coming your way at the Predict 2025 virtual event on January 9th.
Oh, Sonny, you're predicting something again. Last time you tried this, you said Laserdiscs were the future. How'd that work out for you?
Hey, Cher. Not every prediction's a hit, but that's why we've got the real experts this time. Top analysts, visionaries, and tech leaders sharing what's going to rock our world in 2025.
So no Sonny predictions this time? No flying toasters making a comeback?
Very funny, Cher. But seriously, we're talking AI breakthroughs, cybersecurity game changers, the future of DevOps, cloud innovations, and so much more.
And what about my favorite prediction, a smart mirror that tells you how fabulous you look every morning? That's real innovation.
You're already ahead of the tech, Cher. But if you want to hear the really big stories in tech for 2025, you've got to tune in on January 9th. The event kicks off at 8:45 a.m. Eastern and runs until 2:30 p.m.
And the best part, it's all virtual. No stuffy conference rooms, no long commutes. Just grab your coffee, your laptop, and join us from anywhere in the world.
You know what else? It's not just predictions, it's insights, strategies, and a whole lot of fun.
Well, Sonny, if this event is as good as you say, maybe they'll finally name a technology after you, like the Sonny 2.0, predicting your jokes before you tell them.
That's a good one, Cher. But the real joke is if you're missing out on this. So don't miss Predict 2025.
That's right. Mark your calendars, January 9th, 8:45 a.m. Eastern. Be there or you'll miss the biggest scoop on the future of tech.
See you at Predict
2025.
Be there.
Hey guys, we're back and we're going to talk a little bit about AI and cybersecurity. So, we have an article over on Security Boulevard contributed by one of the thought leaders at Malwarebytes, and it talks about how cyber criminals will soon be using AI to create more zero-day vulnerabilities because they can scan for the code and discover something and then launch an attack almost instantaneously. And the article is posing the fact that this whole thing is going to dramatically escalate in terms of timelines. We're also seeing, however, that the providers of security platforms like Torque are adding AI agents into their platforms to automate some of the workflow and the response. Chris, what's your assessment of what's going on here? I know we've been in an arms race for cybersecurity as long as I can remember, but this seems to be escalating.
Well, security is always, always in a conflict. That's literally the definition of it. And this, I think, in the security community, we need to get past the eye rolling stage and into the wrench turning stage, right? This harkens on the, well, what am I going to use to protect me from rogue AI? My own AI? Yes, in fact, that's what you're going to do, right? You need to expect that the adversary is going to use these automated tools with these characteristics that speak to scale and speed and so forth. And if you're going to respond by hand, you are going to lose. Right. So I think this year and next year, my industry will embrace that more, because and again, it's the obvious sort of thing. It sounds so cliche. It's like, I'm being attacked by cheese. What do I need? Well, you need more cheese. It's like, seriously? It's like, yeah, yes. AI is the problem. So what you need to fix the problem is AI. You need to
I would
automate
say if
yourself.
I'm being attacked by cheese, I need more mice.
Right?
Or crackers.
Said, let me
I was going to go with Packer fans, but yeah, I'm with
back to the pack. Leave them alone.
Packer fans,
Leave them
yeah.
behind. So,
Not the
couple
Bears
of
fans.
things. First of all, if you don't think that the hackers are already using AI, not just to make better phishing emails, which they certainly are, but also to do more fuzzing and prodding to find 0 days, because they don't make 0 days. They find 0 days by testing, and then once they find a 0 day, they write an exploit for it, right? And so if you don't think they're using AI to help find more 0 days and write exploits for it, you're kidding yourself. Of course they are. And this is the double-edged sword of technology when it comes to cybersecurity. Every time we find something that can help us, the adversaries are not dummies. They're smart. They're not dumb like that, and they use it too. And this has been one of my big fears, frankly, with AI, is that, boy, in the wrong hands, these guys can do some serious damage. And Kristen's right. We're going to need to deploy AI bigger, better, faster than the bad guys to stay even, not even to stay one step ahead.
It's doing, sorry, man. It's doing the same work, right? As an attacker, and again, security is always yin and yang. There's defense and offense. We, by literally any definition of we, are sometimes the attackers. I want to be able to attack, people that are causing a threat to me or whatnot. And this is, we want to do the same thing. As an attacker, I have way too many options. I want to use automation, AI in this case, LLM, call it what you want, to narrow down those options to the number of things that I can really focus on. As a defender, I want the same thing. So in the same way that these tools do, in fact, present a lot of risks, they present exactly the same set of opportunities. So it really depends on how you choose to use them.
So, Alan, do you think we're prepared to spend the amount of money required to make this defense? Or is this going to be a year where we stand on our hands a little bit and wait to see how hard we're going to get whacked around before we respond?
Chris, how long you in security?
30-something years.
I'm coming up on 30 myself. In all of those years, have you ever heard a security person say, "Oh no, we have too much money, we're fine"?
No.
No. Of course we don't have enough money or resources, if you ask the security people. I think a better question is, will there be substantial resources thrown at this and spent on using AI to hone our security postures and processes and so forth? You bet. Here's what I'm interested in. I probably won't get a better feel for this till the RSA conference later this year. We're going to see innovation around AI and security. Are we going to see a new crop of security startups that are bringing this innovation? Because that's usually where innovation lives, in security, right? It's not.
There was
Oh,
something. Sorry, there's a company called Code Intelligence in Germany that on Thursday introduced an AI agent that autonomously finds bugs and
Yeah, I saw
vulnerabilities
that.
and unknown code. Yeah, I mean, so we're going to start seeing more of
No,
these
no,
types of
the
companies,
point, there's
perhaps.
no doubt
Yeah,
we're going to see it. My question is, where's
I
it
mean,
coming
it's
from, right? Because
yeah.
generally speaking, the security companies that you know and love aren't where that innovation takes place, right? You're not going to see Cisco, Palo Alto, McAfee, uh, the big security guys, SentinelOne, necessarily innovate. They usually buy innovation. So I'm interested to see the next crop of code intelligence type of companies who are AI natives, who are utilizing this technology to improve us. And then by the next RSA after that, they'll all be bought up by those big guys, because that's how security works. Um, but, we for the last couple of years, Chris, you probably heard this too at RSA and Black Hat, the kind of mantra's been, "Well, where's the innovation? Where's something new? Where's the next big thing here?" And I hope this year we actually see that. What is, where the innovation is.
I'm all for I'm all for these tools that help you find these vulnerabilities, but I ask the question, who's going to fix them again?
AI.
Well, if you narrow them down, we have people fixing things that don't need to be fixed now, but you don't really know which they are, right? So I think we get a lot more efficiency in the existing resources being applied to things that have otherwise been overlooked. And to your question, Alan, I'm advising an AI startup right now called Radian, looking at AI for compliance, AI compliance, which I think is an interesting spot. So yeah, I think we'll see a crop of startups.
Yeah, that'll be great. Because we could use it, in all honesty, right? We could use some new. Yeah, well, depends who you talk to, I guess, right? I remember when, we had 700 or 800 venture-backed cybersecurity companies, and my friends would say, "Oh, we only need 300 at most. These guys are going to go out of business." Then I heard the same thing at about 2,500 venture-backed cybersecurity companies. Then I think the last count I saw, there was about 7,500 either public or venture-backed cybersecurity companies. So it seems like you can have enough. So we'll see.
Call me dubious, but I think a lot of those patches created by the AI systems are going to break a lot of things, and it's going to be interesting times.
It won't be dull.
Well, if you use digital twinning, you could actually maybe make sure you don't have another CrowdStrike kind of thing, right? I think
Cross your
digital
fingers and
twinning
toes again.
is a great technology for testing patches.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, no, I think this year we'll see some people, to your point, Mike, getting this notably wrong, and
oh
the only
man,
advice you can have is don't be them.
every year, right?
Yeah.
So it won't nothing new there, but slowly but surely, it's the cybersecurity cha-cha. You take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But over the course of time, like evolution, it moves along ever so slowly, but moves forward.
Those of you who are about to patch, we salute you.
Okay.
Peace.
All right. Guy, if we don't have anything else, we'll call it a wrap on this edition of the gang. Lisa, thanks for the report from Vegas. Enjoy your next day there. Chris,
Thank you. My pleasure.
it's our pleasure. Chris, good luck with the boat, man. I hope you're headed down this way soon. And it warms up a little by then. Mike, John, as always, thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. As usual, we have a full day of Techstrong TV immediately following today's gang, so stay tuned on that. We'll be back next week with our full lineup once again. But have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll speak to you soon. This is Alan Schimmel. We're out.